Kindly take your seat. Very good afternoon to all of you. It's indeed a very historic day and a very historic moment also. As India celebrates its 75 years of independence, the nation is very proud of the journey that we have taken, the challenges that we have upheld. At India for IAS, very meaningfully are celebrating the 75 years of Independence Day. And it's a pleasure and honor that we have amongst us two very important dignitaries who have seen through the journey of India as India has passed the 75 years of independence. We're indeed very blessed and honored to have amongst us Dr. D Srinivasan, an IAS officer from 1955 batch. Thank you so much for accepting our invitation, sir. Indeed. We are also honored to have amongst us our chairman and governing council mentor, Dr. C.S. Kedar, a pillar of support who always guides us through all our journey. Thank you so much for being present with us, sir. We also have amongst us our CEO, Srinivas, sir. Thank you so much, sir. And wish you all a very, very happy Independence Day as we celebrate 75 years of Independence Day. Independence comes to the mind, independence comes to the hearts. And after 75 years where India celebrates its independence, we celebrate a spirit that we have carried forward for these 75 years. It's a journey that we will be proud of. It's a journey that all of us as young generation will take it forward for the next 100 and millions of years as we come forward. So on this year, where we mark 75 years of independence, we had the Know India quiz competition that just concluded. And this was a unique idea that was suggested to us by Dr. C.S. Kedar when we were deliberating on what would be the meaningful way to celebrate. So thank you so much, sir, for that ideation and pleasure that we take forward. So without much delay, the stage will always be to the two dignitaries. I would now request Srinivas sir to briefly introduce and also take the session forward. And meanwhile, we'll take it ahead.
ಎಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ನಮಸ್ಕಾರ. ಇವತ್ತು ನಮ್ಮ ರಾಷ್ಟ್ರ 75ನೇ ಸ್ವಾತಂತ್ರ್ಯ ದಿನಾಚರಣೆಯನ್ನ ಆಚರಿಸಿಕೊಳ್ತಿದೆ. ಈ ಸಂದರ್ಭದಲ್ಲಿ ಇಂಡಿಯಾ ಫಾರ್ ಐಎಎಸ್ ನಮ್ಮ ರಾಷ್ಟ್ರದ ಅತಿ ಹಿರಿಯ ಹಾಗೂ ಯಶಸ್ವಿ ಐಎಎಸ್ ಅಧಿಕಾರಿಗಳನ್ನ ಇವತ್ತು ಮುಖ್ಯ ಅತಿಥಿಗಳಾಗಿ ಇಂಡಿಯಾ ಫಾರ್ ಐಎಎಸ್ಗೆ ಕೇಳ್ಕೊಂಡಾಗ ಬಹಳ ಖುಷಿಯಿಂದ ಯಂಗ್ಸ್ಟರ್ಸ್ ಅನ್ನ ಕುರಿತು ಮಾತಾಡೋದು ಮತ್ತೆ ಅವ್ರ ಜೊತೆ ತಮ್ಮ ಅನುಭವವನ್ನ ಶೇರ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋದು ಯಾವತ್ತೂ ಕೂಡ ಅವರಿಗೆ ಖುಷಿಯಾಗಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ವಿಚಾರ. ಅವರನ್ನ ನಿಮ್ಮೆಲ್ಲರ ಪರವಾಗಿ ಹಾಗೂ ಟೀಮ್ ಇಂಡಿಯಾ ಫಾರ್ ಐಎಎಸ್ ತಂಡದ ಪರವಾಗಿ ಹೃತ್ಪೂರ್ವಕವಾಗಿ ಈ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮಕ್ಕೆ ಸ್ವಾಗತವನ್ನ ಕೋರ್ತೀನಿ. ಸ್ನೇಹಿತರೆ, ನಮ್ಮ ದೇಶ ಬಹಳ ಯಶಸ್ವಿಯಾಗಿ ಅತಿ ದೊಡ್ಡ ಪ್ರಜಾಪ್ರಭುತ್ವ ಇಲ್ಲಿವರೆಗೆ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿ ನಡ್ಕೊಂಡು ಬಂದಿದೆ. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ನಮಗೆ ಸ್ವಾತಂತ್ರ್ಯವನ್ನ ತಂದುಕೊಟ್ಟಂತಹ ಹಲವು ಮಹನೀಯರು ತಮ್ಮ ಪ್ರಾಣವನ್ನ, ತಮ್ಮ ಆಸ್ತಿಯನ್ನ ಎಲ್ಲವನ್ನು ಬಲಿದಾನ ಮಾಡಿ ಇವತ್ತು ಒಂದು ಈ ಸುಂದರ ರಾಷ್ಟ್ರವನ್ನ ಕಟ್ಟಿಕೊಡ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ತಮ್ಮ ಒಂದು ಕಾಣಿಕೆಯನ್ನ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಅವರೆಲ್ಲರನ್ನು ನಾವು ಈ ಸಂದರ್ಭದಲ್ಲಿ ನೆನೆದುಕೊಳ್ಳೇಬೇಕು. ತದನಂತರ ನಮ್ಮ ರಾಷ್ಟ್ರ ಎಲ್ಲ ಕ್ಷೇತ್ರಗಳಲ್ಲೂ ಕೂಡ, ಕೃಷಿ ಕ್ಷೇತ್ರ ಆಗ್ಬೋದು, ಶೈಕ್ಷಣಿಕ ಕ್ಷೇತ್ರ ಆಗ್ಬೋದು, ಕೈಗಾರಿಕಾ ಕ್ಷೇತ್ರ ಆಗ್ಬೋದು, ಎಲ್ಲ ಕ್ಷೇತ್ರಗಳಲ್ಲೂ ಗಣನೀಯವಾಗಿ ಕ್ಷಿಪ್ರ ಗತಿನಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವು ಸಾಧನೆಯನ್ನ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀವಿ ಅನ್ನುವಂಥದ್ದು ಬಹಳ ದೊಡ್ಡ ಹೆಮ್ಮೆಯ ವಿಚಾರ. ಈ ರಾಷ್ಟ್ರವನ್ನ ಬಹಳ ಯಶಸ್ವಿಯಾಗಿ ಕೊಂಡೊಯ್ಯುವಲ್ಲಿ ನಮ್ಮ ಯುವಜನತೆಯ ಪಾತ್ರ ಅಪಾರವಾದದ್ದು. ಈ ಸಂದರ್ಭದಲ್ಲಿ ನಾನು ಹೆಚ್ಚಿಗೆ ಮಾತಾಡಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಹೋಗಲ್ಲ. ಯಾಕಂದ್ರೆ ಇದೇ ತಾನೇ ಈಗ ಕ್ವಿಸ್ ಕಾಂಪಿಟೇಷನ್ ಅನ್ನ ಈ ಒಂದು ಕ್ವಿಸ್ ಕಾಂಪಿಟೇಷನ್ ಅನ್ನ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು, ನಮ್ಮ ಮಕ್ಕಳಿಗೆ ನಾವು 75ನೇ ಸ್ವಾತಂತ್ರ್ಯ ದಿನಾಚರಣೆಯನ್ನ ಬಹಳ ವಿಶೇಷವಾಗಿ ಅರ್ಥಪೂರ್ಣವಾಗಿ ಆಚರಣೆ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಅಂತೇಳಿ ನಮ್ಮ ಇಂಡಿಯಾ ಫಾರ್ IAS ಅಕಾಡೆಮಿಯ ಗವರ್ನಿಂಗ್ ಕೌನ್ಸಿಲ್ ಚೇರ್ಮನ್ ಅವರು ನಮಗೆ ಹೇಳಿದಾಗ ನಮಗೆಲ್ಲ ಖುಷಿ ಆಯಿತು. ಅದೇ ಪ್ರಕಾರ ನೀವೆಲ್ಲ ಇವತ್ತು ಬಹಳ ಕಾತುರದಿಂದ ನಿಮ್ಮ ರಿಸಲ್ಟ್ ಅನ್ನು ನೋಡಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಹಾಗೂ ಇವತ್ತು ಆಗಮಿಸಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂತಹ ಹಿರಿಯ IAS ಅಧಿಕಾರಿಗಳ ಮಾತನ್ನ ಕೇಳಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಕಾತುರದಿಂದ ಇದ್ದೀರಿ. ನಿಮ್ಗೆಲ್ರಿಗೂ ಕೂಡ ಮತ್ತೊಮ್ಮೆ ಇಂಡಿಯಾ ಫಾರ್ IAS ಪರವಾಗಿ 75ನೇ ಸ್ವಾತಂತ್ರ್ಯ ದಿನಾಚರಣೆಯ ಶುಭಾಶಯವನ್ನು ಕೋರುತ್ತಾ ನನ್ನ 2 ಮಾತನ್ನು ಮುಗಿಸ್ತೇನೆ. ಜೈ ಹಿಂದ್, ಜೈ ಕರ್ನಾಟಕ ಮಾತೆ.
ಧನ್ಯವಾದಗಳು ಸರ್. 75ನೇ 75 ವರ್ಷಗಳು ತುಂಬಿವೆ ಸ್ವತಂತ್ರವಾಗಿ. ಇದು 76ನೇ ಸ್ವತಂತ್ರ ದಿನಾಚರಣೆ. ಬೆಳಗಷ್ಟೇ ದೇಶದ ಪ್ರಧಾನಮಂತ್ರಿಗಳು 5 ಸಂಕಲ್ಪಗಳನ್ನ ದೇಶದ ಪ್ರತಿಯೊಬ್ಬ ನಾಗರಿಕರು ಕೂಡ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ. The 5 pledges that he has requested every citizen to take forward, and one of the most important pledge says that we should very soon be a developed country, and there each one of us have to play a very important role. So on this brief note, it is indeed very meaningful, and for us it is a fanboy moment. Every time we meet Srinivasan sir or Kedar sir, probably that's one very thrilling and enthralling moment, because what we get to listen, what we get to hear are all those things that would have happened behind the scenes where none of us would be aware that these things happened. So I would now request with all pleasure and honor Dr. Kedar sir to address, and I would request officially also, every time it's unofficially, so to share his thoughts and to share his memories about the Independence Days that he has seen through his life as from them.
ಎಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ನಮಸ್ಕಾರ. ಇವತ್ತು ಬಹಳ ಸಂತೋಷ. ನಾನು ಮೊದಲೇ ಬಂದೆ, ನಿಮ್ಮನ್ನೆಲ್ಲ ನನಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲ, ನನಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಿದ್ದಂಗೆ ಇದು ಯಾರು ಈ ತರ ಒಂದು ಸ್ವಾತಂತ್ರ್ಯೋತ್ಸವದಲ್ಲಿ ಭಾಗವಹಿಸ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಯುವ ಗುಂಪು ನಾನು ನೋಡಿಲ್ಲ. ಇದೇ ಮೊದಲನೇ ಬಾರಿ ನೋಡಿರೋದು. ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಡಿಸ್ಟರ್ಬ್ ಆಗಬಾರ್ದು ಅಂತ ಹಿಂದ್ಗಡೆಯಿಂದ ನಿಂತ್ಕೊಂಡು ನಿಮ್ಮ ಬೆನ್ನನ್ನು ನೋಡ್ಕೊಂಡು ಹೋಗ್ತು. ಬಹಳ ಖುಷಿ ಆಗೋಯ್ತು. ಈಗ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಮುಖ ನೋಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀನಿ, ಬಹಳ ಇನ್ನೂ ಸಂತೋಷ. An unique way of celebrating our Independence Day. It's a marvelous thing. So ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ದೇಶಕ್ಕೆ ಅವರವರ ವಿಧವಾದ ಒಂದು ಕಾಣಿಕೆ ಕೊಡ್ತಾರೆ. So all of you have done something for this country. One more surprise suddenly it occurred to me. ಅವರು ಶ್ರೀನಿವಾಸ್ ಆ ಸೈಡ್ ಕೂತಿರೋರು, ಸಾಹೇಬ್ರು ಶ್ರೀನಿವಾಸ್, ಇವರು ಶ್ರೀನಿವಾಸ್, ಇವ್ರ ಮಧ್ಯದಲ್ಲಿ ಶ್ರೀನಿವಾಸ್ ಹೆಸರಿದೆ. ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಸರ್ಪ್ರೈಸ್ ಆಗ್ಬೋದು, ನನ್ನ ಹೆಸರು CS ಕೇದಾರ್, ಆ ಮಧ್ಯದಲ್ಲಿ ಇದೆ S ಇದೆಯಲ್ಲ, ಅದು ಶ್ರೀನಿವಾಸ್. ಸೊ ವಿ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ four Srinivas today on this side of the dais. ನಾನು ನಮ್ಮ ಗುರುಗಳಿಗೆ ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೆ, ಅಫ್ಕೋರ್ಸ್ ಜಾಯಿಂಟ್ ಸಿವಿಲ್ ಸರ್ವಿಸ್ when I was born. ನಾನು ಹುಟ್ಟಿದ್ದೀನಿ, ಇವರು ಆಲ್ರೆಡಿ ಹೋಗಿ ಮಸೂರಿ ಅಲ್ಲ ಮೆಟ್ಕಾಫ್ ಹೌಸ್ ಇರ್ಬೇಕು ಅವಾಗ. ಐ ಥಿಂಕ್ ಸರ್ ತಾವು ಮೆಟ್ಕಾಫ್ ಹೌಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲ ಮಸೂರಿನಲ್ಲ ಟ್ರೈನಿಂಗ್ ಆಗಿತ್ತು ಸರ್? ತಾವು ಮೆಟ್ಕಾಫ್ ಹೌಸಾ ಮಸೂರಿ? ಸಾಹೇಬ್ರು ಮೆಟ್ಕಾಫ್ ಹೌಸ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಮಸೂರಿಗೆ ಮುಂಚೆ ಡೆಲ್ಲಿನಲ್ಲೇ ಟ್ರೈನಿಂಗ್ ಅಕಾಡೆಮಿ ಇತ್ತು. ಸೊ ನಾನು ಹುಟ್ಟಿದಾಗ ಸಾಹೇಬ್ರು ಆಲ್ರೆಡಿ ಹೋಗಿ ಡ್ಯೂಟಿ ರಿಪೋರ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡಿತ್ತು. So such a great thing. Second thing about him is we were all born after we got the freedom. I think he has the privilege of seeing how India got liberated, why it got liberated, how we all saw the transition phase. I don't know, he should be able to tell, but 2-3 things that I would like to share it with you. But one of the things that I wanted was, nimmalli yaru first 2 ranks or 3 ranks. Of course, I know that that's not the good way to measure. I wanted them to speak on live. We'll put it on our website, wherever all the Srinivasans want to put it. What is it a freedom means? And freedom has, freedom is like, shall we say, ಒಂದು ನೆರೋಲ್ಯಾಕ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಬಣ್ಣದ ಒಂದು ಶೀಟ್ ಕೊಡ್ತಾರೆ ನೋಡಿ. I don't know whether any of you see. It has so many colors. So if you ask me what, maybe I think we should have a quiz with Srinivas. He's already spoken, kept quiet, and Prashant is still want to speak. What does freedom means for him? I would like to tell that for freedom for me is I am enabled to do something good to the public. I am not stopped. I am enabled to do something good for the public. ನನ್ನ ಸ್ವಾತಂತ್ರ್ಯ ಇವತ್ತು ಬೆಳಿಗ್ಗೆ ಅದೇ ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೆ ಶ್ರೀನಿವಾಸ್ ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ, ಹೇಗೆ ತುಂಬಾ ಶ್ರೀನಿವಾಸ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಆ ಸೈಡ್ ಶ್ರೀನಿವಾಸ್ಗೆ. ಬೆಳಿಗ್ಗೆ 5:15 ನಾನು ಯಾವುದೋ ಒಂದು ಸ್ಪಾಟ್ ನೋಡಕ್ ಹೋಗಿದ್ದೆ. I felt that that will be my contribution to development of youth who are not as privileged as you. You are privileged. There are so many people who are less privileged. So ಆ ಸ್ವಾತಂತ್ರ್ಯ ನನಗಿತ್ತು. ಬೆಳಿಗ್ಗೆ 5:15 ಹೋದೆ, ಸ್ಪಾಟ್ ನೋಡ್ಕೊಂಡೆ, ಅದು ಮುಗಿಸ್ಕೊಂಡು ನಿಮ್ಮ ಹತ್ರ 11:30 ಬಂದೆ. ಫಾರ್ಚುನೇಟ್ಲಿ ಯು ಆರ್ ಆಲ್ ರೈಟಿಂಗ್. ಸೊ ಫಾರ್ ಮೀ the day I am stopped, I have lost freedom for whatever is the reason. For whatever is the reason, I am stopped. For any reason, it could be health, it could be physical, it could be somebody stopping me. Then on that day, my freedom is lost. So each one of you, at least since you have decided to be part of this, and he was telling that one of the pledges that we want to take is that we want, anybody should always say, if somebody says that, okay, since he wants the story, I will tell you a small story, because today is much more than that. I became tourism secretary in government of Karnataka. One of the things that we had to do was we used to participate in travel marts. We used to have World Travel Mart, WTM at London, then ITP Berlin, International Travel. Then we used to have Dubai, so several places. So one of the things that I used to hear when you go and say, you are from Karnataka. I'm talking of 2001, 2002. Just then Y2K digital thing was blooming in the world. So ನಾನು ಇಂಡಿಯಾದಿಂದ ಬಂದಿದ್ದೆ, ಕರ್ನಾಟಕದಿಂದ ಬಂದಿದ್ದೆ. Karnataka, what? People didn't know there's anything called Karnataka in this world. Then India. India. Okay. Then Bangalore. Bangalore. So Bangalore had a greater recognition than India, and definitely than Karnataka. It used to make me feel so proud. In fact, in UK, there used to be a common word called Bangalore. And somebody loses a job in UK and a job is created in Bangalore to take care, because at that time, business process outsourcing was a very great thing. So when the job was lost, people used to say, you are Bangalore. In fact, people used to warn, don't tell too many people that you are from Bangalore. So the whole idea is that, can I work? Can I feel proud to be part of my area, my state, my country? So, Nimgella, this is an opportunity. You are free. Nobody stopped you from taking this competitive exam. Once you join the service, nobody can stop you from participating in the development of this country. So I wish you all the very, very best. And I know that all of us commit today that at least who are part of my family, that for you, liberty, freedom means freedom to liberty means democracy means freedom to do good for the public. So that's what I wanted to tell you. And I wish you all the very best. I know my very, very senior esteemed Srinivasan sir is here. It's our privilege to have him, and maybe we hear advice from him. And anything else? Okay. Thank you very much and have a nice time. Maybe we'll meet on other occasions. Love to interact with you, with each one of you. And whenever somebody wants to interact with me, you can just put a word to Prashant. I'll be more than happy to meet you individually, no issues. In groups, no issues. Because for 30 years, my passion has been always, if somebody wants to join the service and to do some service to people, my service to be at their doorsteps. Always feel free. Don't bother about me. I'm just 19-year-old, so you can always approach me and make me do. Okay? Sab, Naginta onchur senior. He's only 29-year-old. So, and in fact, he has traveled to Metro and he has just now come back. So he asked me, why did they call me? This is a NGO which is into very difficult terrain, how to make it into forest. I said, sir, they called you because you are the youngest person. They can't get anybody younger than you. So I wish you all the best, sir. Our great namaskarams to you. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much for those inspiring words. It's now time to listen from one of the legendary person that we have always been inspired to, always been looking up to, Dr. D Srinivasan, born in 1931 in Mysore, a village in Mysore, specifically to say from Gajanur in Mysore, where Dr. Rajkumar comes from. He always calls him a soulmate, that they are co-mates in their journey. He's done his BSc Physics in Mysore University, MSc Physics in Mysore University. He has multiple PhDs in sociology, Master's in degree in Development Administration from University of London. He was 4th rank in the year 1955 when he joined civil services. So rank 4. His achievements are galore. I keep telling the achievements, time will go ahead in terms of the achievements itself. So one thing, very proudly, he was selected to set up universities and educational ventures in the Northeast India. So in across Northeast in different states, if you see central universities and universities specifically, the man behind the entire university setup across Northeast India has been Dr. D Srinivasan. Today, when you get into services, when you serve to the country as different officers of All India Service or Central Services, each of this service comes with its own perks and requisites and glamour and glit, also with the challenges that the job offers. But those were times where either Dr. Kedar or Dr. Srinivasan sir joined. Those were times where the idea of glit and glamour was less, the facilities were almost nil, and they had to work in those conditions where they had to set everything going from the ball zero. So that is when both of them have started the service from. And I was just interacting where he said he was in his final year degree in the Central College here in Bangalore, and it was 14th August night when Professor Ramchandra Rao, who was their warden on the university, came down and he said, we'll have to listen to a speech which the leader of the nation will come up with. And the night from 11 o'clock to 3 o'clock, 11 o'clock in the night to 3 o'clock in the morning, they listened to the Thirst with Destiny speech. A very emotional moment for all of them in the hostel when this happened, and to see through. For us also, it's a very, very emotional moment to understand that we have amongst us, both of them, who have served through the motherland in all those times. And if today India is India, And if what we are experiencing India and what we will experience as India in days to come, it is the service of many such leaders in their own respect, many such youngsters in their own respect that they have given to the nation. They've all been behind the scene, never seek the glamour or the photo op that generally people do seek. They've done their work with utmost silence, and the yeoman service has recognized to that. So it's very much honor and pleasure, sir, that we have both of you amongst us today. And nothing more can wait to listen to you, sir. The stage now is to Dr. D Srinivasan, sir.
Friends, I really feel it especially privileged to be amongst you on this very sacred and noble day, where the whole country has been awakened to celebrate the 75th year of independence. I know Mr. Srinivas through Dr. Rajkumar Academy, because I have to go little nostalgic. Otherwise, probably I might not have known him so independently. Kedar, we know each other. We contributed to Rajkumar Academy. And Dr. Rajkumar, we come from the same village. He was emotionally bound with me even today. He's a great soul. God created Dr. Rajkumar with a little that extra in abundance, which distinguished him from all other humanity. A great soul, a great artist, a very large-hearted person who wanted to always share whatever he had with others around him. I knew him intimately when he was commissioner in Goa. I had the privilege of hosting him. He always used to stay with me when he came for shooting there. So I know him inside out, even more than his own children. That is what I tell Shivraj Kumar, late Puneet and Raghavendra. So I cannot get away from that emotional attachment to Dr. Rajkumar. And that gave me the privilege of knowing a great person like Srinivas. You know, he had nothing to do with civil service. He was in the Delhi Police Department, and Kedar and a few other civil servants who happened to be posted in Delhi. They encouraged and enabled people who came for interview from Karnataka. It's a great encouragement they had given. They have sacrificed their own time. They considered the whole mission with sincerity and contributed a lot to their performance in the interview. It's a little bit, I know. Prashant has been a moving spirit in the Rajkumar Academy. Here also, I think he is doing extremely well. I am so happy to be here with you all. First of all, you are the aspirant for civil services. First, you know what is civil service. It is not for enjoyment. When you get into civil service, it throws on you a great responsibility that you are getting your salary from the tax paid by the people, and you are enabled to spend the money collected through tax from the people. There is a big responsibility on that. So being a civil servant is big responsibility. The very first day of my promotion, Kedar was telling Metcalfe was the commander-in-chief of the Indian Army at the British Indian Army. So we had our training school there first in the 50s there. And my director of the academy was an ICS officer, very stern, very strict, very dominating, very fearful, fearsome personality. Ours was a very small batch. T.M. Session, who was the chief election commissioner, I was the 4th rank, he was 5th rank. We were all together, very small batch at that time. And then somehow the director picked me up. He said, "What are you here for?" He said, "Sir, I have been selected for Indian Administrative Service. This is the first day of my promotion. I happen to be so. Rubbish. You are neither administrative nor service. You are a civil servant. He took out from his pocket the latest edition of the Oxford Dictionary, pocket edition. Read out the meaning of civil. That civil means courteous, service, culture. All these things should characterize your service. Never say again you are administrative service. That's all nonsense and rubbish. Dedicate your service in the true spirit of the meaning which you have read about civil. This is your advice. Very first day he told us we have gained independence only about 5 years ago. So never talk to anybody about his caste or creed or religion. We have been strictly following that. I never asked in my life anybody what is his caste, what is his religion. These are the first things to do as a civil service. Great responsibility. So a lot of resources are available with you, but whenever you are posted in a district or anywhere like wherever, whichever department, try to manage within the resources available. I can never give a better example than Abhinandan Varthaman, who shot the F-16 of Pakistan Air Force. So at the split of a nanosecond he had with him, when he sighted that his radar showed that enemy's aircraft was flying over. He had no time to think, he had no time to ask his commander how he should do that thing. Whatever resources he had, immediately clicked and shot down that plane. So you have to manage within your own resources. I had always done that. Either as an assistant commissioner or deputy commissioner. I was in Union Territories cadre of IAS, serving literally north and south and east and west of this great country. Different culture, different language, different politicians, different mindset of politicians, varying resources, varying climate, everything, including Andaman Nicobar. So civil service gives you a biggest opportunity to serve in the geographically different parts of this country, which strengthens your personality, your dedicated to the mission in your life as a civil servant. So this is all. I don't want to infect with you with more ideas about civil service. You will learn when we interact with you later. And so far as you are aspirants for civil services, dedicate your full time. Never be hesitant about full devotion to it. Seamless 24 hours, you must do that. Competition is deadly, beastly, very cruel today. 10 lakhs people appear and measly 900 vacancies are there. Chances are 1 in 2,000, 1 in 1,000. But that does not encourage. Who knows, you may be one of them. I am very, very, very proud that boys and girls from Karnataka are doing exceedingly well. In 900 vacancies, to just get about 10 vacancies is a big achievement, big achievement. It's all because of hard work, you thinking, undisturbed, focused attention. Please carry on with that. Now coming to this 75th year of independence, I was in the first year of PUC, intermediate we used to call in Central College here. So the freedom was to be announced at 12 midnight. Our great Prime Minister, Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru, was to deliver it. My professor came, disturbed me from our hostel. All the students were collected in the college premises. From 11 o'clock in the night till 3, we were all there, hearing that emotional tryst with destiny speech. So he made a poignant statement. When the whole world will be sleeping, we will be awake to our life and freedom. He said, to our life and freedom. Life is characterized by freedom. If there is no freedom, there is no life. So this is, we learned from American independence, our precursors, Abraham Lincoln. They did quite a lot to inspire us in getting freedom. French Revolution, we were very much inspired by them, where a despotic kingdom and monarch can be thrown out through the strength of the people alone. So these are the examples we derived spirit from that. And we had followers first. Nelson Mandela, who is my icon. My personal hero is Nelson Mandela. 32 years he was in prison there, where the only noise he heard was the roaring waves of Indian Ocean. The only light he had was the skylight of a few inches, 20 feet above in that jail. And the jail was only a few kilometers away from the shore of South Africa. The great sacrifice. So he said in his book, Long Walk to Freedom, as I climb towards my freedom, I find I had to climb many steep rocks. As I climb one steep rock, I find that I have many more steep rocks to climb. That is very much applicable to civil service. One rock is your prelim. Second rock, steeper rock is main. The steepest rock is the Viva. So such great people. In my opinion, in my judgment, Nelson Mandela was more Gandhian than Gandhi himself. And there was another character. There was a bishop in America. He was a Little Rock school. They were discriminating on races, admission to children. It is in Arkansas state in America. So he characterized by following true Gandhian principles of ahimsa, truth, and won over the government and got admission for the underprivileged children, neglected children of belonging to a particular race. So these are all inspiring personalities we have come across. Thanks, we are living in this world. We are part of the history of this world. We are all world citizens today. After the technological revolution, we cannot isolate ourselves from what is happening in other countries. Even if you want to, the climate will not allow you to change because a domino effect. What is happening in Pacific, we are facing that as in the form of tsunami. Last Sunday at this time, I was the chief guest in an international event organized by UNESCO, FAO, Tamil Nadu government, Anna University, a few NGOs on climate change. At this very time I was addressing. I was the chief guest. I spent a lot of time with the school and college children. We planted about 1,000 trees simultaneously within 1 hour. So we cannot isolate ourselves from what is happening around the world. It definitely will affect. It is economy, it will affect. It will be diplomacy, it will affect. We cannot isolate ourselves in that. So we are living in such a world. And our freedom struggle started almost 150 years ago, before 1947. Small and big way. They were all small principalities and the colonial bosses. They succeeded in dividing the country and then ruling for such a long time. When they took the first boat from their own native, whether it is the France, whether it is the Holland, or the Portuguese, or the England, they were all only for, they heard. I am very happy, I am very proud that the story they heard about 400 years ago about India was, our streets were paved with gold. Our people were glittering with gold and silver and all that thing. That is why they were very fond of acquiring India. They have colonial economy at that time because they divide and rule. They never allowed us to gather strength. It's very difficult to imagine that state of, but they succeeded. They ruled us for power. But it took a Gandhi, a person. The real good product of our independence was Mahatma Gandhi. His path of winning freedom by strictly following the noble path of ahimsa and truth and self-reliance. Now Modi is talking about Atmanirbhar Bhavan. All these things are self-inspired by Gandhi. And he lived the life of a simple person. He took the example of the villager in the poorest of the poor village in India. How he looks like, what he is. Gandhi ate only that. So we should all be inspired by Gandhi. no greater tribute can be about Gandhi than Albert Einstein, who said that the future generation will not be able to easily believe that such a person walked on this earth. Strictly following non-violence. He never compromised on non-violence. He never, non-violence, not only that, by thought, words, and action, he said nobody should cause even at the distance any harm to others. That was his point. He strictly followed that. And he strictly inspired the 30 crore people at that time to follow his. And it was not very easy for us. Nothing really meritorious comes without hard work. The simple logic. So we also had to do a lot of work. Very thorny path. We lost many precious lives in a very cruel way. When Jallianwala Bagh, people were praying, the dyer shot them. You see, can you imagine a more inhuman way of treating human people in that too? They were the administrators. And even controlling crowd, they were not like our policemen having a small baton. Thick 6 inches baton, both ends were with metals. And they were taught to hit on head. Now our policemen are taught only below the hip. So that was the way they were ruling that. I'm happy with all the efforts of our most inspiring people who never bothered about sacrificing anything in their life, left their personal life, and faced boldly whatever be the consequences, the very cruel rulers of British origin, and we won freedom. So all of us should remember the sacrifice they have made. We know what at that time I was in the borderline, they know what sacrifice. I traveled all the way from here to Mysore. At that time, not much transport was able. We only visited Mysore. We all students went to Mysore. Have a look at him. We cried because so much of emotion was generated. When he got out from the train, the half dressed, and then said in a curtain, very more, as if God had come. Such is the inspiring personality. And all of us civil servants, I have only advice. Never run after money. If you don't run after money, money will run. Today, Karnataka, I am very sorry, I am from this state, I am a Mysorean. Corruption is eating into the good name of Karnataka. Postings, they spend a lot of money, irrespective of the level of the post. Why should we? They bribe the politicians. And how do they get money? They said, I have spent so much money, I must recover, we get corrupt. So this is a permanent vicious cycle that is created. So all of you should pledge yourself when you are in their academy that you should never be indulged in corrupt practices. Please make sure all of them take that pledge on the law. I will be here for the law. I will compel each one of you to take that. Clean administration. We have technology available. Why should you need it? What is the harm in going and working in a place where government chooses to post you? Why ask, I want this place to be posted, that place to be, why are not that? You are encouraging politicians, they want something. Never believe a politician. If you are honest, do your good work. If you are bold and be polite, you can always win the politician. I have worked with 9 central ministers as private secretary, cabinet ministers. I have never bothered because I was always polite, but I never accepted them. Without their knowing that I have disagreed with them. If you are polite, you can go. So there are many things you will learn according to the situation, but never give yourself to any corrupt practice and all. And be always motivated to serve the people. Whichever post you are occupying, there is ample opportunity for you to serve people without your real investment. That is the greatness of civil service. So I am very happy all of you are gathered here. And remember the sacrifices all our people have made, how much time we have taken to win freedom. And my mind, because history will teach you everything, there is no problem at all. And be dedicated to whatever you are allotted and try to share with you people. Mother Teresa had said, since the dawn of civilization, humanity has been immensely benefited by living together, by working together, by suffering together, and by sharing together. Please try to share with the needy people. When a needy person is used to find sitting there, give him something here. You see the brightness in his eyes, the hope it is outshining in his face. So try to share whatever you have done. Wherever you are, get yourself involved in some social work. Plenty of opportunities there. I am very happy to say, last week, the event on which I was the chief guest, one NGO, they have taken on them the mission of afforestation. It has been organized by Central Customs officers. The person who was with me on the days was Additional Chief Commissioner of Customs, Mr. Harshvardhan Umri, a Maharashtrian. He was so proud. All the leisure hours, they are bringing awareness of the need for afforestation as one of the means for facing climate change. Thank you so much for, I have shared the true thoughts with you. If you want to talk about, if you want me to talk about freedom struggle, probably I can keep you engaged for the whole day. So, but that is not the idea. Come to the crux of the point, be brief, and then what are the thrust points I have shared with you. Please remember the great personalities I have mentioned, Abraham Lincoln, or Nelson Mandela, or Martin Luther King, or our own Mahatma Gandhi. Be inspired by the way they lived, how they set examples for the whole humanity, how they served, how they awakened the humanity for the good cause, how they benefited this society, how they benefited the community. All of them are fought individually. And then later on, they were able to assemble people, but never bothered whether they got supporters or not. They were walking alone. They succeeded. Thank you so much for Srinivas and Prashant and Kedar. He's a great person. He's a very good friend of mine, a practical administrator. I will give you only two instances. I am a social worker. I am the national coordinator for International Youth Exchange, organized by UNESCO. Every year, 30 volunteers come. This month later, they are coming. And they live with Indian family for 1 year, live exactly like Indian, in letter and spirit, and then go back after learning about all this. It is all funded by UNESCO. So at that time, we had to get visa for those participants. So Culture Ministry was saying, we are not concerned. Sports Ministry and Youth Affairs and Sports Ministry said they were not concerned. My friend was in Cabinet Secretariat. Then I spoke, Kedar, this is the position. Sir, don't worry. Within 24 hours, he said, Culture Ministry, you are responsible this day. That is the greatness. He is an authority on e-governance. E-governance was a new concept about 20 years ago. And he was just on the point of retiring from service. So S.V. Ranganath was the chief secretary. The government of Karnataka appointed S.V. Ranganath and me to choose a candidate. We couldn't consider, even think of anybody except Kedar. So much qualified he was in e-governance, nobody can shake him. Highly remunerative. After retirement, he said, no, thanks, sir. That is the greatness of this person sitting there. He is my very good friend. Very good friend. We are each mutually benefited by knowing each other. Maybe I am more benefited than Kedar because I belong to an older generation. So thank you very much for patient hearing. If you have any questions, you can always ask about that thing. We'll be ready to do our best to give you satisfactory answers. Thank you so much. Jai Hind.
Thank you very much, sir, for those inspiring words. I think today I feel that I've not been doing justice to myself and to this organization being the chairman. I think every time I come here, I hear Prashant Srinivas thanking me. I feel it's very unfair. I think people like Srinivas, Prashant, Sandeep, Ashok, there's so many people who work. And we actually here to take credit. I don't think we work anything here. I don't think even 1% of whatever these people work. So I felt that this is an occasion on which I would like to place it on record my sincere thanks and my sincere appreciation of the great service that Srinivas, Prashant, Sandeep, Ashok, so many people who are all working here and enable you to prepare yourself for the upcoming challenges of life. Grateful Prashant, grateful Srinivas, grateful to all people who are not here. They must be busy doing some work for all of you. I think they must be busy in the lower floors doing something. Thank you. We are so grateful to you. But for you, we are nothing. So as far as he was asking that he wanted me to go for some government assignment, but I wanted to do something for directly to the common people because I wanted to be in touch with them. So I'm happy with, again, for 30 years I've been doing. In fact, I always keep telling Srinivas I have only one ambition. I definitely know that Srinivas must have been only one person in his service in IAS, in his batch. I was also one. But today I'm happy that from Karnataka, there are more number of people going. We are in double digits, but if we can all work together to make it a triple digit ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನು ಹೇಳಿ 100 ಸೆಂಚುರಿ. ಸಚಿನ್ ಅಷ್ಟೆಲ್ಲ ಹೊಡೆದಿದ್ದಾರೆ ನಮ್ಮ ಕರ್ನಾಟಕದಲ್ಲಿ, ರಾಹುಲ್ ದ್ರಾವಿಡ್ ಹೊಡೆದಿದ್ದಾರೆ, ನಾವು ಹೊಡೆಯಕ್ಕಾಗಿಲ್ಲ. ಸೊ ಆಲ್ ಅವರ್ ಫೈಟ್ ಟು ಎನ್ಶೂರ್ ದಟ್ ಒನ್ ಡೇ ಕರ್ನಾಟಕ ವಿಲ್ have 100 people in one of the batches. In the one of the very soon. It should happen very, very soon. So, and I'm guaranteeing you till that day I'm going to fight. I'm going to work hard. I'm going to keep on encouraging them. I can't do much work, but at least I can encourage Prashant and team. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir. Firstly, thanking Srinivasan sir for his very inspiring speech. I mean, sir has already given the age to be 29, so I would not wish to say the number. But if you go by the 29, it's exactly the reverse of the digit what the sir comes with. So with that being the age and the energy and the spirit that he comes with and the message that he had to deliver to all of us as young aspiring bureaucrats and civil servants and all of us who wish to do our bit for this great nation that we are part of, it's always a very enthralling feeling and a feeling where we always generate goosebumps for every moment that comes to. So thank you so much, sir, for that very inspiring address. Thank you so much, sir. Kedar sir, you've been extremely kind. It is a word that you said, but for every moment to plan something, to decide something, if there is one thing that will, if Kedar sir were here, what would he do? What would he think? That is the first idea that we start off with. So that's the moment where we take inspiration from each one of you. So that is how each one of us would wish to work. Completely no nonsense, doesn't bear a single idea. He has his vision clear, he has his mission clear, and he knows what's to be done and how it's to be done. So before we announce the results are ready. Before we announce the results, let's not miss this occasion. It's very difficult to get such an occasion. We'll have a very brief Q&A, a question answer session. I'm sure many of you would have some queries to answer with, but I'll take the pleasure of asking the first question to both of you. This is a question which both of you can answer on your own respects. As a question is to both Srinivasan sir and Kedar sir. Sir, please share with us one very unique memory of an Independence Day that you have witnessed through the times that you have seen. Very unique memory. One. Two, Generally, when there is a larger disregard for politics and politicians in general, you have been working very closely with them. If you want to take name, that is your choice, sir. If you don't want to take the name without taking name, one very inspiring idea of how politicians and politics were part of the journey that both of you were part of.
I'm too active to be sitting there. Even Saab but doesn't want so. I will cover both Independence Day plus a politician. Nanu Bellary DC agidde. The day I reported, it was on May 19th, 1993. 1993. I was received by bunch of women carrying pots, empty pots, the first day. Of course, nan tale mele kuklilla, but nam office munde ella kukkudu. So Bellary had a great water problem. So we had municipal president, we had MLA Ramapanta, he was earlier power minister. Divakar Babu, the municipal president. Of course, you will never forget people. That's because I always look at it like a story, a cinema. So, ella bandru jagala, galati, DC office, tumba jana compound, dodda compound. So I knew that it was peak of the summarize on a petition kotru tagonda amele nanu Divakar Babu mattu ರಾಮಪ್ಪ ಮೇಲ್ಗಡೆ ರೂಮ್, ಇಟ್ಸ್ ಇನ್ ದ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಫ್ಲೋರ್ DC's ಆಫೀಸ್ ಕುತ್ಕೊಂಡು ಅವ್ರ ಜೊತೆ ಹೇಳಿದೆ, ನೋಡಿ, ಜಸ್ಟ್ ನೌ ಕಮ್ ಆನ್ ದ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಡೇ ಇಟ್ ಸೆಲ್ಫ್ ಯು ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಗಿವನ್ ಮಿ ಅ ಶೋ, ಐ ವಿಲ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ ಗಿವ್ ಎ ಶೋ. Fortunately, at that time, I was the senior most officer who had been posted as a collector. So to that extent, I knew that I had a leverage. I said, from tomorrow onwards, I will ensure that lots of syntax tags mounted on lorries. I knew Upper Krishna project bada help madide. I could get a lot of them and I will showcase. But with all that showcase I am going to show, the whole city will be thrilled. I am going to supply hardly 9 lakh liters. Right? But the requirement is 19 million gallons per day. I don't think there's any comparison between what I do, but still I'll do. But let me have a look on what is the regular water supply situation. Kutkunde ella study madide. I love projects. One of the things, if you look at my whatever I am doing today, is all projects except coming to you. That's also a long-term project, but I love projects. Then I understood that it was lying dormant or got into some, can I say, gantu, kaggantu. Kannadalli helbeku andre, I hope all of you understand kaggantu. Very complex problem. 17.5 years the project has got into knots and knots. And the last 14 years, the work has stopped. ಅದು ಗಂಟು ಬಿಡ್ಸಕ್ ಆಗೋದಿಲ್ಲ. ಸೊ ಕಷ್ಟಪಟ್ಟು ಎಲ್ಲ ಸ್ಟಡಿ ಮಾಡಿದೆ and I started working on that. And after some days, I called both Ramappa and Divakar Babu. Of course, they all started becoming enemies with me, but later on, Divakar Babu became my partner with shuttle. He also loved shuttle. I also loved shuttle. I created a shuttle code, so we became partners. Doubles Harta, you know that. So then I called both of them. I said, I have found out a solution. I'm working towards that. If I need some support, if I can't do something, then I'll come to you. One of the reasons I said it's not necessary, I knew that when there's a problem I have to surmount in Bangalore, I can handle it better than them. But still, If I fail there, then I myself will be held accountable to myself. So I wanted somebody else to be also in the loop. But I knew that I am myself going to handle. So ella work ಮಾಡಿ ಎಲ್ಲ ಮಾಡಿದೆ. So, and I started working towards that. Comes August 15, 1993. That is where he wanted me to tell my memorable Independence Day function. Yambai Gorpade was the district minister. Very legendary. In fact, his photographs are something, I don't know if Prashant or Srinivas can capture it from 80 and show it to you. Gorpade is a wonderful wildlife photographer. Extremely, is a royal family. So he behaved very royally. So the protocol was, we had to go and receive him at the border of the town, the district minister, escort him to the stadium where flag hoisting. Then he does the flag hoisting. Avaru bhashana kodtare. So, of course, after that something else will happen. So I'll tell you that. And that is the ending. You can call it upakate, side story. So, Ali, there's a place where we were standing, and that village is called Ibrahimpur. Right. Ali Kadidvi, he comes, then we stop him, then we give a flower bucket, then I entered into his car. Then he said, of course, very elderly person, very great man. He said, Kedar, see, do you know where we are standing? Ibrahimpur. Do you know what is there behind these houses? I said, yes, sir. Ground level reservoir as a part of the Bellary water supply scheme, which is half done. Kedar, 14 years here, nothing has happened. I have not understood. Nobody have been able to tell me anything. I said, sir, do you have 5 minutes? I explained the problem in 5 minutes. The man was stunned. He told me, Kedar, I have sat together for hours together, days together, I couldn't understand. You have briefed me in 5 minutes, what's the problem? We are traveling already. We are going towards a stadium. We are 5 minutes away from the stadium. Then he asked me, Kedar, do you have a solution for it? You have understood the problem. I said, sir, 3 minutes do you have? I said, yes. In 3 minutes, I explained to him the PERT chart that I had mentally prepared. I did not have even the papers. In 3 minutes, I explained to him the PERT chart. He said, Kedar, this will happen. Can I announce? When will it get completed? I said, sir, February 11th, 1994. Kedar, can I say January 26th? Not possible. Please. Coming again for flag hoisting. I said, sir, yes, announce. No problem, because everything would be there, but it's a huge thing. So many motors, 2,500 HP, four pumps, all that. We have to do a trial run. So pipes of the size of almost 5, 6 feet, 7 feet, you have to test run it. I said all the projects would be ready, but testing would be on and it will be, so no problem, sir. You announce, people would know that it's there. So went on to the stage. He said, of course, great man. I don't think anybody would have done that. He announced that here is an young man. Of course, at that time I was still older. Now I have become younger. This young man has come out with a solution. I guarantee you that on January 26th onwards, problems of Bellary water supply will be over. And come January 26th, he had the full scheme on. He again came and he announced, declared it as open. So that was a great Independence Day that I can remember. One of the greatest for me, because a biggest project stuck for 17 years, we were able to complete in just 7 months. So, and dealing with a great politician, 2 small stories I learned. When this was ready for inauguration, I told him, sir, you are a politician, you need votes, you go and have the function. I always never wanted to be for function because I feel that we are not there for names. So I said, sir, Nana Barodila, how Madkodi, sir. For you, it's election, vote, etc. Never been. I am not going to contest anywhere in Bellary. And I always did this, even as Bangalore DC. I always avoid going to public function because it's a waste of time. They take hours together. Do you know what he said? If Kedar is not coming, there won't be any. I will also not go. There is no public function. Then I said, it has to be inaugurated. Then he said, take your wife, get it inaugurated. My wife inaugurated a biggest water project of city. I took my wife, nobody else. It was inaugurated on February 11th. So I told you another side story of after the flag hoisting, what happens? There will be a cricket match versus DC 11 versus SP 11. So while running between the wickets, I fell, tore my groin muscle, and I was carried away from the thing in a stretcher. So I directly went to the hospital. So that was a side kick. Thank you very much. So great people, great things.
Thank you so much, sir. Sir, any one inspiring story of an Independence Day that you would wish to share, sir? Or an interaction of political experience that you would wish to share, sir? Any one interaction with a politician which inspires you, or an Independence Day story?
As I mentioned, I belong to the Union Territories cadre. In my times, there were only 3-4 states in that, not all the 7. Assam was the main where we had the training, and we had Arunachal Pradesh. Nagaland was almost. Nagaland was independent even before India, and we had Tripura, Manipur, Mizoram. All these things came later. So politically, the entire area was evolving at that time. One good thing was Christian missionaries like Reverend Scott had done a lot of good work. Every school was English medium, and they were very comfortable in communicating in English. There was no problem. And my encounter with a local politician was William Sangma, P.A. Sangma's relation. He was a contemporary of NEHU. And we had no difficulty in. He was a gentleman and was always accommodating in our views, bureaucratic ways of doing things. And he firmly believed that bureaucrats really meant doing good for the people. So I didn't face much of difficulty. And Chandigarh, which I worked with, was highly developed. And I was additional chief commissioner of Chandigarh when T.N. Chaturvedi was later on governor of Karnataka. He was also my mentor. So we had no difficulty. Those politicians were very cooperative. We had no problem. Whenever they wanted anything, we would respond. Whenever we wanted anything, they would ask. And somehow they thought, at that time, one film, Ek Duje Ke Liye, Kamal Haasan and Retd IAS. And the first time, my friend S.P. Balasubramanian, he was my very close friend, he had sung in Hindi, Tere Mere Beech Mein, ek song, very popular. So he sang, and then Next day, some 80 people came, Independence Day, for the president. They had some signature of 80 people. He said, "Oh, South Indian लड़का इतना अच्छा गाता है, उसको बुला लीजिए, बहुत अच्छा गाता है, उसको personally सुनना." Then I told Balu, before that I didn't know him. Then I said, "This is the program they have got. Will you be able to come?" He says, "No, sir, definitely." And mind you, 5,000 people attended that program. They wanted to hear only Ek Divya Ke Liye, that song, Tere Mere Beech Mein, and one or two songs. But he rendered a beautiful, melodious song for 3 hours. And the local Gurudwara served everyone with a cup of tea, feni, that is their sweet, and samosa. That was my fact. I was the beneficiary of that event because Balu came very close to me later. He was invited for a similar program in Bhopal, in Bombay, and Jaipur. And he told the organizers, "If Srinivasan Saab is not coming, I am not coming." So we became good friends, the whole family. We interacted a lot. And emotionally, about 3-4 days, I was disturbed when he passed away because of this. He was a soulful, very great singer after Rajkumar. Rajkumar, nobody can sing like Rajkumar. Incidentally, I have done some research. Nowhere in the world a top-class actor can also sing so beautifully, so emotionally, so melodiously like Dr. Rajkumar. So Balu was equally good. His sister also equally good. I know the whole family. Even so this is my present experience of independence. Otherwise, we had a very in Goa. It was very nice people. When I was commissioner from 1969 to 74, Goa had just been liberated. In 63, it was liberated. 69, there was hardly anything. I had to recalibrate everything according to the Indian system. In that context, I had visited Lisbon many times. What is the basic idea of running the government and all that? How the transformation should be given. Local politicians, including Manohar Parrikar's family, they were all great lawyers. They were all very helpful and all that. And even if they disagreed, we didn't come to Marpi. We never came to blows or anything like that. Very pleasantly, because ego was not there. Even by nature, my guru had told me in Mysore, when I was a 7-year-old person who taught me yoga, never have ego in life, you will succeed. I strictly follow. And from Gandhi, I learned prayer. I daily pray. Even today, I get up at 4:30 and pray. I have shared with all of you, believe in prayer. Mahatma Gandhi believed in prayer. That prayers only took away his life also. He was shot dead when he was in a prayer meeting. Doesn't matter. That gives you a lot of emotional strength, spiritual strength. Gandhi built this strength to win freedom through spiritual approach. That was the greatest thing about that. So always, all of you, even to have success in this examination, please pray. It will have some effect. So these, I had no problem. In Goa, people were very nice. In Andaman Nicobar, you had mostly tribes. There was no political. The Andaman Nicobar MP was a Bengali at that time. So they were dominating. Today, even today, the civil supplies come from Chennai by boat every day, today also. So I, being a civil servant, I never took part in that thing. I give it to public distribution. But God has endowed. Every place has a compensating factor. The earlier in the tender coconut, each coconut will have 4 liters of nascent ready. My breakfast was early, lunch was early, dinner was early. But all the ration I got from Chennai, we used to distribute it. My deputy was Naveen Chawla, who later on became chief election. But we have also had a different type of politics. Andaman Nicobar has about 314 islands. During my time, I could map about 120 islands. Even still, they are very, very much unmapped. So China took advantage of it. They were carrying in submarine activities in that thing. I sent a report, then Indira Gandhi called me. Now they have set up a naval base for surveilling on Chinese activities. The tribals were very, very fierce people. Hunge tribe, Sentinel Island, is mostly from Hunge. They all came from Africa. Very fierce people. So we were going in a boat. My deputy was Mr. Ramesh Chandra and Shailada Chandra, both are VAS. And Naveen Chola was another deputy. For something, he raised his hand to explain to me something. Within split second, the poisoned arrows struck his shin, the lower part of his. So they were so fierce. They never wanted to be, they never tolerated any interference in their own tribal life. That is why even 3 years back, one Bishop Saint, he was an Australian. He was killed when he tried to interfere and tried to introduce literacy campaign in Sentinel Island. So this is sort of adventurous thing we played in Union Territory. Puducherry, beautiful French colony, wonderful. We can talk to dolphins there, no politician. Little away from the shore. If you go, dolphins come. When you call them, when you make different sounds, they come to the surface, they make some small noise and go. They are very happy, very, very happy. Then I created a dolphin pond. Visitors can go there by boat without disturbance. So really, I didn't have politicians on that, but different kind. As I mentioned, our cadre is very, very, very small. So as you move up the ladder, there was no post for you in high. So we were shunted to Delhi. Delhi immediately post in regular charge was not available. But ministers were like eagles, vultures. They wanted to catch hold of young IAS officers to work with them as private sector. I was also one of the Bakris for them. So my first encounter was with a very, very senior, very dominating politician called Channa Reddy. He was the original Telangana man who wanted a separate Telangana. He was the master, father, godfather, whatever you call, of Telangana movement. So my people said, that is the only vacancy there, go. So they pushed me into it. Hey, you are Srinivasan. Yes, are you not seeing the name there? Yeah. Then it is very difficult to work with me. Sir, we are from Indian Administrative Service. I have no difficulty. We are trained to face challenge. There is no challenge. I think there is no point in being in IAS. So I said, I can. Then he said, if I don't like you, I will send you. Then I waited for a few minutes and said, sir, can I say something? Sir, if I don't want to work with you, I will go away. Nobody has told me like that, sir. I am telling you that. If you can tell like that, why not I do what? Then we became very good friends. And in Telugu, very endearing way, he called me Koduku. Koduku means small boy. We became lifelong friends. When he was governor of UP and Tamil Nadu, he invited my wife and me for a week stay there. Another person I worked with was Dinesh Singh. He was very close to Gandhi and NEHU. He was educated in London. He was the external affairs minister later. I worked with him, one of the finest persons. They are all zamindars. He was a Raja. His uncle was Raja of Kalapancha. He was Raja of Sikkim. His youngest ran under his post. He got an English in the British engineers and built pillars and built a very endearing personality. He respected me a lot. Small or big things, he will always talk to me. Even totally unconnected things with my chart. This cabinet movement, can you please tell me what is the view of the So such beautiful, very good PhD people. So I had a variety of experience. This is all you build. If you don't have ego, you have no problem. If you have ego, every moment is a thorny thing. Please check your never think I am told. I am going to be like that. It doesn't take. That particularly present politicians are also like vultures. They are not dependable people. They want to get things done from you, but they will let you down without any conscience, without any form. So small experience had because our starter was also different. But we had enjoyed a different kind of experience. But in Northeast, life was still evolving. Not even roads. Even 8-tired military jeeps cannot go easily in those days. Only in 1960, Border Roads Organization came into existence. They have now brought about lots of communication. I was in Defense Ministry for about 7 years. I was supposed to be a defense expert. I retired as defense secretary. And I also wanted to advise you, whatever be your qualification at the point of your entry into civil services, try to get additional qualifications. Accidentally, I had 2 PhDs. It's all accident because one of my relations was a very senior professor in IIT Delhi. Through her, I came into contact with another visiting professor, one Purnima Mathur, an outstanding sociologist, was teaching in Harvard. She found me, I am very articulate and communicative. She said, why don't you take PhD? She said, Madam, I am posted in different places. It is difficult. I never like to say I don't have time. I never say like that. It's difficult. He said, don't worry, I will guide you. That is how I got one PhD from JNU because I was associate professor there. I used to go on deputation there. K.R. Narayanan was the Vice-Chancellor. He was also my mentor. And IIT Delhi also, I took a PhD. Similarly, I used to go as guest faculty in the Delhi School of Management. One Dr. Abad Ahmad was the director there. He was also teaching in Harvard. He came. Indira Gandhi called him to teach in Delhi. So then when I was doing, I used to talk about government and business, about public sector undertakings, their performance and the interference, the Reserve Bank of government, our goals and all that. Then he said, Saab, itna acha bolte ho, aap bhi MBA le lijiye. He says, you are not selling MBA, na? I will pay money and then get MBA degree. I can't post attendance. I cannot come because your university campus is far away from my working place. Sir, I will exempt you from attendance. Will you take? I will took in one go and pass the MBA. That is the way. Because you must be eager. Don't never say this is at the end. It is a continuous journey. Always try to get additional qualifications. So when Indira Gandhi saw my CV was different, I had 2 PhDs in addition to my basic MSc first class in physics. He said that when they wanted some new university to be set up in Northeast, they said, "Isko laga do udhar. Iska paas 2 degree hai. Isko laga." So all these things, you are a different person if you continuously study. I myself do not know how I am. In that, I want to share with you Puneet Rajkumar's quotation. He was interviewed by Preeti Shenoy in one of the channels here. She was asking him, Puneet, how you are able to do so many things? You are an actor, you are a producer, you are a singer, you are a philanthropist, you are doing so much things. Then he closed his eyes, looked at the ceiling. I was watching the TV. He says, life has enough space, ample space for everything, provided you can schedule it. So I always gift it as my, whenever I meet somebody, I give this quotation. I have got a few copies. Never say you don't have time. Time is there. You are inefficient. You are not able to make it. Today, technology is breaking into frontiers because of nanotechnology. Time is even getting smaller and smaller. Atomic bomb took only split second to explode and finish off Nagasaki and Hiroshima. So never say utilize your time. Plenty of time is available. So usefully spend time. Wish you all success in your present situation. Anytime you want any help or guidance or anything, they are always there to you. Always there to you. Wish you all success. I am very happy to meet you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. Many more things to talk, many more things to hear. As I said, the generations of experience that both of them carry, it will always leave us, let's say, that ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಇದ್ದಿದ್ರೆ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿರ್ತಾಯ್ತಲ್ವಾ ಅಂತ ಅದು ಯಾವಾಗಲೂ ಅನ್ನಿಸ್ತಾನೆ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. I'll also add a little more to that, that ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಇರ್ಬೋದು. Both of them are beautiful singers. Both Srinivasan sir and Kedar sir are wonderful singers. Classical and also the filmy singing that they can do. So some other day, for sure, we will request and we'll take that liberty to also demand.
You are all young people inclined to romance. Please play romance with your own life. Don't involve it. Let me shoot success.
What a note to close that occasion with. Right. Thank you so much, sir. Okay, so on special request, I would request Kedar sir for about few lines of singing that if he can do for this and make this occasion very memorable to all of us.
ಶ್ರೀನಿವಾಸನ್ ಸಾಹೇಬ್ರು ರಾಜ್ಕುಮಾರ್ ಅವ್ರದ್ದು ಇಷ್ಟ ಹೇಳಿ ಐ ಮೀನ್ ರಾಜ್ಕುಮಾರ್ಸ್ ಮೂಡ್. ಧಪಧಮ ರಿಸರಿದ ಮರಿಸದಮ ಮಪದ ಮಪ ಮರಿ. ಇದೇ ರಾಗದಲ್ಲಿ ಇದೇ ತಾಳದಲ್ಲಿ ಇದೇ ರಾಗದಲ್ಲಿ ಇದೇ ತಾಳದಲ್ಲಿ ರಾಧೆಗಾಗಿ ಹಾಡಿದ ನೀಲಮೇಘ ಶ್ಯಾಮ. ಇದೇ ರಾಗದಲ್ಲಿ ಇದೇ ತಾಳದಲ್ಲಿ ರಾಧೆಗಾಗಿ ಹಾಡಿದ ನೀಲಮೇಘ ಶ್ಯಾಮ. ಇದೇ ರಾಗದಲ್ಲಿ ಆ ಆ
Now I am going to share with you a small prayer to awaken your Atma and strengthen your person. Antar Jyoti Namo Paramatma Jyoti Namo Aganda Jyoti Namo Mama Jivana Jyoti Namo Antaryami Namo Sarvantaryami Namo Sadgurudeva Namo Sri Gurudeva Namo Antarjyoti Namo Paramatma Jyoti Namo.
Born to be dull bureaucrats, but there was no dull moment for a moment that we had from starting. Right? ಅದೇ ಭಾಷೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಹೇಳಬೇಕು ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ನಾವೇ ಪುಣ್ಯವಂತರು, ನಾವೇ ಭಾಗ್ಯವಂತರು ಅಂತ. Very big round of applause for every single moment that we experienced. No better moment to announce the winners of the quiz competition that we had. So I would not put it up in a particular order. I would now call up all these. In fact, there are 4 names instead of 3 names. So that's also. So I will invite all the 4 to come ahead, and then probably we'll have that final announcement. Naveen MS, Amresh Patil, Vivekananda BM, and Arun M. All 4 of them, please to come ahead. I will repeat, Naveen MS, Amresh Patil, Arun M, and Vivekananda BM. This is in no particular order. We have 3 coming up. The 4th one. Naveen MS. Naveen MS. Who is Naveen MS? Okay. Amresh Patil. Okay. Arun M. Right. Vivekananda BM is here. Okay. Naveen MS is not amongst us. Okay. Great. Right. So before the announcement, I would now request Kedar sir and Srinivas sir to felicitate our chief guest in honor today. We'll have a very small felicitation, our word of thanks and gratitude that we want to give. Srinivasan sir will be felicitated. Thank you so much, sir. This is a very small token of gratitude for the. Can we have a standing ovation from all of you? Can you please stand up from your places, and no memorable moment in this. A very big round of applause to continue. Small token of gratitude and no word of thanks, nothing can match this occasion. Thank you so much. Thank you, sir. We request you to be kindly seated. We have the prize distribution now. So this was No India quiz. This quiz was organized as part of the 75th year celebration. And we had 75 questions, and the time given was 1 hour. And all questions were to deal with India, India's independence, and all the symbols and others associated with India. We have a tie for the first position. Arun M and Amresh Patil have tied up for the first position. So Arun M and Amresh Patil have tied up for the first position. Congratulations to both Arun and Amresh. Arun M and Amresh Patil have tied for the first position. There's a cash prize also along Arun M and Amresh Patil. The second prize is with Mr. Naveen MS. Naveen MS is unfortunately not along with us. So Naveen MS, congratulations. Second place to Naveen MS. The third position is to Vivekananda BM. Congratulations, Vivekananda BM. So this is the third position is to Vivekananda BM. The third position is to Vivekananda BM. So congratulations to all the winners. Congratulations to all you participants. All of you will carry back a participation certificate that very soon will be printed in your name and issued. Thank you so much to all you participants for making this occasion very, very memorable. And as you move ahead from the occasion today, you will take out this door, because we want you to carry back a small memento as a memory for this occasion. There is a book on Dr. Abdul Kalam written by former secretary who was serving under Dr. Abdul Kalam, and it is translated to Kannada by Vishweshwar Bhatt. Kalam Kamal, this is the name of the book. Kannadadallide. So ee pustakavanna pratiyobbaru kuda kodta iddevi as remembering perspective for this occasion. And you will also carry back a certificate that will very soon be given to you based on the names that you have given to us, and also a sweet that we want to make this occasion very, very memorable and sweet that we want to remember. So that's as we go ahead from this occasion as such. So we have now come to the fag end of it, and an occasion which we wish continues to relish. Celebrations at India for IAS don't close. Celebrations at India for IAS don't close for the Independence Day. Today at evening 5:30, we have a special guest lecture by Dr. Sandeep Shastri. This is happening online. The theme of the lecture is India at 75, the journey, challenges and fault lines. So we'll very soon share the Zoom link for the lecture. It is happening at 5:30. Those of you who are close by and want to watch it here, we'll be displaying it on the big screen here starting at 5:30. Dr. Sandeep Shastri is joining us at 5:30 p.m. in the evening. This is a guest lecture on the occasion of the 75 years of independence. So thank you, each one of you. I would now request Sandeep and other directors along us to deliver the vote of thanks for the occasion.
Good afternoon, everyone. When we went, me, Prashant and Srinivas sir on Saturday to invite Mr. Srinivasan sir, he very much happily obliged, and today all the way he has come from his house to deliver his experiences throughout and how he has seen through India's journey in the past 75 years. So on behalf of India for IAS family, I heartily thank Mr. Srinivasan sir to come over here and share his knowledge and also give an inspiration for you people to achieve something in life and contribute to the development of our country ahead. So very much thank you from our India for IAS family, sir. And also our beloved chairman, Dr. C.S. Kedar sir, who is our backbone in each and every occasion and also each and every part of our function or whatever the initiative we have. So also I thank Dr. C.S. Kedar sir on behalf of India for IAS family for gracing the occasion. And last but not the least, our co-founder and CEO, Mr. Srinivas PC sir, who is on the backbone of our programs and also of the institute initiatives, and also who is the chief organizer of the today's function. I thank Mr. Srinivas sir on behalf of India for IAS family. And also I want to thank for being here patiently throughout the program and also listening to the wisdoms of words of Mr. Srinivasan sir and C.S. Kedar sir. I want to thank each and every one of you on behalf of India for IAS family. Thank you one and all.
Thank you, Sandeep. Thank you so much. Let's make this occasion memorable with a very few photo opportunities that we can take before we close. So some of you can very quickly come on stage to take that final photographs as we close ahead. And meanwhile, can we arrange for the distribution of the books and the sweets as you go ahead? Very brief photo opportunity along with the dignitaries on stage. Okay, we have Naveen MS who has come along for the second prize winner, Naveen MS. So we'll just close the ceremony with felicitating Naveen MS. Naveen MS, the second place winner of the No India Quiz. Naveen MS. Naveen MS, the second place winner. A big round of applause for Naveen MS as he takes out second place. Congratulations, Naveen. And it's well past 2 o'clock, time for lunch. Thank you so much, sir. You can